So we're getting a bench press spotting class here.
For spotting class. I find personally the best way to spot, for me, if someone's spotting me, off you go. I prefer, when they get to the point, I find me personally in the middle. If they get stuck, I just hand in the middle there. Some people like this way, but to me I find if you spot someone and you got both hands here, you can sometimes give them too much pressure on one side and they can throw them off. So if you spot them from the middle, it's more just like keeping it the same. Like I said, I've had too many people try and spot me this way, and like I said, they might lift too much on one side and the bars. So like I said, once they need it, and as I said, when you do help them too, you really don't have to help much, just put your fingers under there, then like I said, you just follow them down. And if they do get stuck, I said, if your fingers are just touching it, the bar, you can just feel it and then just give them that little bit of a, don't do the ones where they come running in and jump in and go, and reap it off them. So I always just found one hand in the middle is the easiest way. Like I said, you don't want to be off when they try and go for the outside of it. Or you get the ones that go down too low and they try and get you under the elbows, and they can also throw you off. Or do what I do, just don't go heavy so you don't need a spot.
That's it. And how do you do it when you're doing curls?
Curls?
Yeah, spotting someone on curls.
Which, barbell or dumbbell? Now with incline, you probably do sometimes need a spot depending. Different gyms have different stuff, and sometimes the racks are here, so you've got to reach out here to pull it over. It's good to get a lift out if you can. The same sort of thing. Generally at an incline, I will generally might spot under the elbows because they're at that angle, but they're up higher so you can reach the elbows a bit more. But then again, if I do have to go in the middle, I just go straight to the middle, not the outsides, because like I said, outsides can make it too wobbly. Like I said, I'll have a spot there, or generally, like I said, just the elbows. And like I said, when you spot someone, just give them enough spots to keep the weight moving if they get stuck. But wait till they get stuck, because you've had people where you think they get stuck and you go to help them, and then they'll be like, don't help him again. So it's just like that. So I said, make sure, like I said, you don't get too eager. But normally I said, if you get a good training partner or a good person you've got a good relationship with training-wise, you'll just sort of, it's instinctive, you'll know when they need it type thing. And I've trained with some people, Matthew can tell you, where they do like those little shitty reps, you know, sometimes branching them, do like this. And Matthew and I, we laugh sometimes because we go to spot them and they're going up, and you think, okay, he's going to need a spot now, so you go in to spot him. Just to get your hands in to spot him, they're coming back down, so it's like you don't know what you're doing, because they're like going like this, so you don't know what point when to spot them, so you just give up and don't spot them. Because there's no rhyme or reason, because you can't.
And what about when they lift out on their first rep, and they need a spot, and then you go to rack it and they go, I've got 8 more in me, bro.
That's the worst, like, especially if like you do spot someone on a bench and you are in the middle and they've got that one where, like I said, after a while you can feel how much you're helping them. You say, okay, they say, no, one more, and you're just like, I've actually done it before in the States where when they've said one more, I've said, okay, and I've actually taken my hand away and let the weight get stuck on their chest just to prove to them they didn't have one more in them. But because, like I said, I'll walk over and say, oh, were you helping them? It's like, you're actually doing the exercise for them. Like I said, it's good, like I said, to get enough of a spot where you can get out one or more too, but if your spotter's standing behind you doing upright rows, it's time to put the weight back.
Or next set they add more weight again.
Yeah, they do that too. They'll be at their limit, you've had to spot them, and then they put the weight back and they'll say, I'll go another plate. And you're thinking, oh shit, we barely got that set. How am I going to handle another plate?
Yeah, well, that's what Branch and Ronnie do, just throw on the
at least Ronnie can lift them. Don't spot me! And like I was saying before, sometimes, like I said, at a lot of gyms, the bars are a little bit behind people like that. Sometimes to push up, you've got to push up that way. It's good to have someone just like, if you just grab the middle of the bar, like lift up, and then just lift it out with you till it's in position, and then you can remove his hands. Just takes that bit of strain off your shoulder and taking the weight out. there are a lot of different, like I said, this is pretty good. With one of this one you can actually move the bench, but a lot of gyms have it where the bench is actually fixed to the upright supports, and a lot of them, for God knows why, are even back here further, so you can't, if you grab the weight it's like that, there's no way you can like push it up and get it out, so you do actually need someone to just lift it out to you.
Sweet. Were you ready for a